Hey, welcome back to the exciting episode of YOML. This is the year of magical learning. Today we are on reflection 217. So this is actually the conclusion, part two of two installment from one of the book we talked about like 2 weeks ago. And so maybe if you guys forget what it is, this is about the gentle art of Swedish death cleaning. And this is, I guess, the conclusion, the finale of what Chris is, the,
What I
the
learned.
30-day challenge.
It was my
Right.
back in, I don't even remember when it was. I guess it was sometime in the summer, last summer. So that was probably like 8 months ago. But yeah, so this is the conclusion of what I learned. If you remember back to part one, that
Is it a
was
dramatic conclusion?
it is dramatic. It was very dramatic. Let me go back to part one. We do that. It was a couple weeks ago, I feel like. It was reflection 196. So we're on 217, right? So
Yeah.
this it's about right. So it's about, I wrote about 20 a month, every month reflections. So yeah, so this was started the first one at the beginning of the month, and then, here we are. This is like in the real timeline of 1 month later, doing this stuff every single day. So just a quick recap. The book is about death cleaning, which is what it sounds like. It's cleaning your own home and your own stuff yourself before you pass away, so you don't become a burden to your family and your friends and all the stuff that you have. Like, it's spending time with your stuff and donating it, giving it away, or keeping it and continuing to leverage it, but spending that special time with your things before you let it go. And it's usually for older people that are literally like old and they're death cleaning because they don't want to burden their kids or their family or something like that, and going through that process. For me, I decided, spurred on by this book that was actually recommended by my therapist, to take up this monthly challenge of trying to do 20 minutes of my own tidying every day. It wasn't death cleaning, but like tidying. So I went through all my drawers and cabinets and, pantries and hall closets and, my toiletry cabinets and whatever. I just went through my attic. I went through all this shit for a month. Every night I spent like 20 to 30 minutes tidying up and either throwing stuff away or marking stuff to be given away, or using it. It was fun. Had a really good time. But here's my official lessons, part two of the reflection. Let me share my screen. Lesson one was that I learned 4 lessons from this. Lesson one was everything deserves a chance to have a purpose in this world. And that even includes our stuff. Like, it was really weird pulling out all these different t-shirts and all these different clothing items and pants and stuff that I never worn, and shoes that I never wear, that are they're old or they're gross, or towels or whatever, like just random things in your attic, furniture pieces that you have tucked away in there. Like, it was just really, really weird.
That's his purpose.
All right, I'll let it slide. I'll give him a lifeline. I missed it.
Did you hear what I said?
I did. He said it's due to his purpose. Exactly. Everything has a purpose, and bugs are to bug you. No, I'm kidding. So it was just weird, t-shirt after t-shirt I'm pulling out of the drawers, and I'm like looking at them and I'm like, man, I've never even freaking worn this. I had like probably 150 t-shirts that were just like, I'd never even worn them. They're things that you get from work activity events or sporting teams you're on or high school stuff or whatever. It's just like, I literally had a stack of t-shirts like from like 3 feet tall, in like all these different containers and stuff in my closet, and I never wear them. I was like, man, this is just sad. My whole closet was busting full of, my drawers were like busting full of t-shirts that I don't even wear anymore. Anyway, I have like 15 t-shirts that I regularly wear, when I work out, and then like this kind of stuff. And that's about it. I'm gonna have like dress clothes and stuff, but like from like a t-shirt or wearing perspective, or pants or whatever else, man, this little jerk. I gotta get rid of this guy. Sorry. Time out. I will be right back. It's got, because it'll crawl like right over my head and it could drop on me, and I don't want to do that because these little lights are right here. Hang on, I'll be right back.
He's just attracted to the light.
We're just gonna turn the, because it's like I have like windows right above me, and he could just be straight up crawling on this beam right ahead. I have bugs every once in a while just drop on my head, and it drives me nuts. And like, this looks like a little creepy weird bug too. So like, I do not want it to just like fall on my hair. Now I'm like all freaked out. All right, I'm gonna go sit down. All right, so back to the regularly scheduled program. So yeah, everything has a purpose. Like we'll just end it there. I really felt bad that I was limiting, these items of clothing or furniture or whatever, just tucking them away in a drawer. Like I don't know, it felt bad. The more time, I know that sounds stupid and weird, but the more time I spent with cleaning this stuff, I really started to feel bad that I was like, what am like what am I like? I feel I should either let you go or give you a chance to do your purpose for somebody else. I was like, who am I to keep you tucked away in a drawer gathering dust? I was like, I've started to actually feel feelings for inanimate objects. And I was like, this is getting weird. That was lesson one. Everything deserves to have a purpose. It should have a purpose and it should serve that purpose. If you don't let it do that, then it doesn't belong in your life, whether it's yours or their purpose. So that was point one. Point two is letting go can be fun, actually. I actually had a ton of fun doing this whole entire thing. I don't know what it was, but every night, like I really looked forward to it. It was just fun to like go through old stuff, t-shirts that I got from certain places or remember where I got it from, or furniture items that I had previously used, but now it just, was tucked away in the attic or whatever, or I don't know, it's just memories like books, things like that you had when you're younger, or things you had enjoyed, or I don't know, it was just interesting, like, or going through like junk drawers and you're just like, oh yeah, I remember we got that on, that stamp or that magnet on vacation from somewhere. It was just fun, actually. I actually had a really good time, like just going through stuff and organizing things. I'm also a weirdo. Like my wife will tell you it's like really disturbing. I get excited to go to the Container Store. That's like my favorite place to go to. I love organizing things and it's fun for me. So I'm not even joking. Whenever we are going to the mall shopping areas or whatever, which is pretty rare, I'm always like, hey, so you need me to swing by the Container Store? Like I'm happy to go, like I don't go shopping anywhere, but I'm like, I get really excited when I get to go to the Container Store. So like I'm weird, but anyway, letting go can be fun. Lesson three was letting go can be freeing. Every day after day of doing this, I actually felt like I had a little bit of a burden taken off of me, like, when you open your drawers in the morning and they're like busting at the seams of t-shirts you don't wear anymore, it's just annoying. And you're like, you open up your medicine cabinet and shit's falling out, or your junk drawer in the kitchen where literally you can't even close or open anymore. It gets stuck every time you're trying to, because you'd cram too many things in it or whatever. I don't know if these are anything that you've experienced, but it's like, for me, it actually like mentally weighs on me because I don't like clutter and I don't like, dirtiness, and I don't like non-organization and all that other stuff. And, it was like a literal mental release, like every time you could just go chuck something in the trash can or like bark something to give away to Goodwill or whatever. It was just like this little one less thing you have to worry about, in your life. And it was just kind of nice. And I really, really enjoyed that feeling. And like I said, it was fun for me. I had a lot of good time. And then lesson 4 was when you tidy, it magically attracts others to join in the fun. So I did not intend this. This was a solo assignment. I did not ask anybody to do anything. I just got done with work every night and I went and did my 20, 30 minutes of tidying or whatever. And that was that, in the closet or in the attic or in the hall cupboard or whatever. And all of a sudden, Luca started popping up and I would be pulling stuff out of cabinets and he would have a blast, like pulling stuff out with me and playing with all the stuff and throwing it away, doing whatever. I had a little helper half the time. And then the weirdest thing that happened, I told you this one before, my attic that's in this room over there on the other side of the room was just the bane of my existence. Like we moved into this house in 2013. So it's been 10 years now. And there was a bunch of junk in our old basement. It was mainly my wife's stuff. Like 90% of it was my wife's stuff by far at our old house. And it was just a bunch of old teaching boxes and junk and her clothes and just bed mattresses and comforters and just tons of shit. There was stuff that we never were gonna use again. But for some reason, my wife does not share the same organizational philosophies as me. So I was content with her. We just chucked it in the attic when we moved here and it stayed. With having 2 kids now, like there's a lot of things in there that are like kid stuff. There was a lot of furniture that was being added in there over time. Honestly, every time I would walk in there, I could hardly walk in there anymore. I was tripping over shit everywhere. It just was more shit just being thrown in on top of it. You kind of just close the door behind you and you're like, oh God, I don't want to open that up again, kind of thing. So I had this secret goal of tidying this month where I was like, I'm going to tackle that attic. I'm going to at least get my shit out of there, the old furniture items, like the old whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to ask her to do it. I mean, I've been begging her for at least 5 years to go clean up the fucking attic. I'm not even joking. I can't even tell you how many times I've been like, can we please go clean the attic. And she's like, yeah, I'll do it someday. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I'll do it for you. I just need you to stand there and tell me what you don't and do want. I don't care. Just please just walk into the attic with me. And like, never was gonna happen ever. And I said, fine, fuck it. Like, I'll just do it myself. So I happily went in there in the middle of the summer and was sweating my ass off, pulling box after box of things that were just random items in there that had accrued over the years, and furniture pieces and bed frames and whatever, taking them downstairs in my garage to take them off to Goodwill to donate or whatever it was, give it to somebody else or something like that. And something magical happened about, I don't know, maybe 5 days into this attic cleanup. So this is like the last half of the month. I was up there every night for a week and a half. And finally, somehow my wife was like, agreed to actually come up there and do this with me. I was like, holy shit. I was like, are you kidding? I was like, I'm not doing just 20 minutes with you whenever you give me time, So we'd carved out an entire Saturday morning where we got almost all of her stuff out of there. We got 90% of her garbage that had been sitting there on the floor. I could actually walk it into the attic. I took it all to the dump, I just threw it all away. We went through everything and I reorganized stuff in there. Now you can walk in there, you can store more stuff, we can do whatever we want to do. And it was just this magical lesson of when you start doing stuff, it attracts other people, even if they don't want to do it. Like, literally, I begged her for years to like go do this with me. And it took me just doing stuff. And then she finally was like, oh, okay, all right, I'll help, So that was a good lesson learned. So those are my lessons from my month of tidying. Yeah, I'll pause there. I'd love to get your thoughts.
So okay, I think you have 4 lessons, right? And
Yeah.
so my question would be, what lesson would you want to pick out as the lesson for the day, and how would that ties to company and our mission?
Everything has a purpose. I mean, that was lesson number 1, and that's the most important
Hmm.
lesson, was that if you are limiting somebody else from having, or anything, whether it's a person, an animal, a living or non-living entity, if you are preventing that thing from fulfilling its purpose, you are in the wrong, and you should free that thing to go do what it should do.
Okay. What if those purpose is to bug you?
You're talking about like a bug?
I'm just saying everything has a purpose, but if that purpose is buggy, you're supposed to let it live its purpose. If you don't, then you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
So aren't you in the wrong when you're trying to get the bugs out of it? Yeah.
Kill them.
You could have, and you
I
might
could have.
have, if it didn't eluded you.
Hey, sometimes things encroach on your purpose, and hey, they can't tell me what to do either. So, I think you're getting a little too deep into the bug thing. But no, I do get what you're saying,
Well,
because
the thing is,
it is true.
I want to bring up a point. The point is, this is what we were talking about before, and we didn't get to finish it. The point is that everything has a purpose, but there's 2 perspectives to that purpose. Either from your perspective, say, because from my perspective is I am this person, I'm this whatever, and I want to do this, right? But to other people, you or me has a purpose for them. For example, if I'm a horse, for somebody as a horse, my purpose is to carry somebody's cart. So
Sure.
versus my purpose as a horse is to go gallop in the field, right?
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying is there's the purposes that we have.
If you were preventing a beaver from damming, you were in the wrong.
But I'm saying is, we can get, I guess, confused between the purpose that we direct and the purpose that someone else direct for you.
Well, in an ideal world, everybody's purposes help serve each other, right? Like, and that's how when you just do what you do, and then everybody helps upward spiral themselves together, right? Like,
Well,
acquire.
that's ideal, but the world is not ideal.
I was hoarding these T-shirts and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there's no reason. Like, I actually gave them away to a lot of like friends, or I mean, I'm a small guy, so
But I think I don't relate to the fact that, everything has a purpose. I don't really
Right.
care about its purpose. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, and people can say, "Hey, I'm a dumbass. I'm a jerk. I'm a evil person. Whatever." I don't really care. I'm sorry, but I don't really care about anyone else's purpose except my own.
I don't disagree with that. You
So I
want
want to
to
put it out
prevent
there, right?
people.
Just live your purpose the way that you're supposed to be living. And so the thing is, the purpose of letting go is you have the. So I agree that everything has a purpose, because without purpose, it would not be created,
Right.
right? So, for example, we have a cup. Why the cup exists? Because we, as a human being, wanted to scoop something one day,
Right.
and we created to fulfill a function.
Do you have a bunch of mugs in one of your cabinets you never use? Like, do you have an old mug drawer?
My wife does.
Okay, so do you not ever sometimes look up there and go, "Oh, I remember when we got that mug at, on that trip to, you know,
No, I
where."
forget anything that happens 2 days ago.
Fair enough. So, but like, how sad is it to have those mugs just sitting in that drawer and you're like, "Oh man, like somebody else could be drinking out of this," and I just have it.
That's the thing is, I don't think about that.
I didn't
I,
either until I had to
I
go
don't,
clean these things.
yeah, for some reason.
Well, maybe that's the lesson of this is like I had to think about like these inanimate objects that were just tucked away in cabinets that were not able to serve its purpose, and I felt bad. I mean, I literally felt bad. I would look at all those
Well,
mugs and I would go,
I
"What am I
think
doing with these?"
I think the thing is, to me, there is a fine line between what you see and what I see. I think it's good to understand that everything has a purpose and use the tool or the object with, as it's intended to be used. Just like I
Right.
say, if you have a corn slot, right, and expects you to insert a quarter, then you want to insert a quarter. So because it's the right fitting, it was designed for that. And so it's the same thing is I can use a cup to hammer a nail to the wall. It wasn't designed to be hammer. It was designed to be a cup to hold something to drink.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying is having the perspective of understanding that everything was designed. I mean, there is a function that this thing is supposed to fulfill.
Right.
And if you try to use it in that manner, then you have maximized its usefulness, its fulfillment.
Right.
And you want to take that further, say, okay, if the world exists in a fractal, meaning because that particular object, even though in a simplistic form, has the ability to resemble a part of us, a part of our life, because our part is more dynamic. Just like I'm saying, a fractal is like, for example, if you look at a tree, right? A single branch looks like a tree. A branch of a branch looks like a tree
Right.
because that's fractal. So, I mean, even the simplest one resembles the form of its ancestor. And so, looking at the object with its intended purpose, if something was used by design, then it has maximized its fulfillment of function. So you take that to the level of how would I do what I need to do to be able to fulfill the design based on my genetic patterns. And to have that would give you the most fulfillment, the most fitting functions for who you are. And I think to me, go back to tying to what we do and what we advocate in company is, everything has a purpose, especially, human beings has a certain purpose and we need to make sure that it is being used as designed. But I also want to caution people that the purpose that you see from your perspective and from your set of genetics is different from the purpose that people say, hey, it looked like you could be, this guy. Hey, you could be, an employee. Oh, you could be, a coffee maker for me, or you could be battery from the AI perspective. Hey, you guys don't need to exist. You guys just gonna suck all the resources from the earth. I'm gonna
Right.
make you into a battery. So the, we can be a purpose of being a human battery, but that's the purpose from the AI perspective or from someone else's perspective. So, in the sense of the modern world, right, we look at everything we do. The warning I'm giving is that a lot of people don't understand and don't do self reflection to look from within themselves their purpose versus taking somebody else's word for what their purpose is supposed to be. Because, like, you say, hey, Chris, it looks like you could be a lawyer. I mean, you talk great, and you like to argue. You could be a lawyer. You should be a lawyer. Your purpose is a lawyer. So
Right.
I just give you a purpose. And if you take that purpose, you be wrong. You're going to be
Oh,
miserable.
I agree with the principle of what you're saying. Like, you can't tell somebody else, even an inanimate object, what their
But
purpose is.
the problem is that
Also,
if you don't know your purpose, people can tell you your purpose, and because you have
well,
nothing to compare to, you accept it.
so I would say though, if you're an inanimate object,
To
is
me, if you're an animated object, then I don't think it fits into the concept of what Clutter is trying to advocate.
Disagree, but there is something to it though. Like, I mean, there's everything that you surround yourself with in your life should help you to be the person you want to be, even if it's inanimate. Like I look around this room right now
No,
and I see
it's
like
not. It's a person you must be. Okay,
yeah,
I want to be the president of the United States. That's not gonna happen.
fair enough.
Be like Troy Aikman. Not gonna happen.
I,
Gonna happen.
I don't disagree with that sentiment. You're right. The person you must be, the stuff that you have in your life should help support that, whether it is inanimate or animate objects, whether it's living or not living, like it should help support that no matter what, in my opinion. This is how I felt at the end of it. Like I spend every single day with all my stuff. People don't spend time with their stuff. It's not my stuff. Sorry, spend time with stuff that's in my current possession, right? I mean, there's a big distinction there. Like you don't own anything because like hell, even the home that you own and the property that you have, like you don't really own that. Like it's just you're just like even if
It's just in your possession.
it's just in your possession for whatever time frame you have it. It was interesting to take inventory of the stuff that I have in my possession and go, is this fair to that object, that it's in my possession, or could it be giving value to somebody else? And the answer was easy for a lot of that stuff. It could absolutely be giving value to other people.
I look from a different perspective, and the thing is, I'm very forward in saying, look, I'm not this altruistic guy. I'm all for myself, right? So for me, it's my perspective. I'm looking at is this thing gonna help me? Then I'll keep the rest. I don't. And for you
Right.
say, look, hey, this thing it will help somebody, right? It's the same process, but the way I look at it is, hey, is it helping me or not? It's
Right.
either one camp or the other camp, which is like, hey, it is gonna help me with what I do, with who I am, or it doesn't. It doesn't, then you let go. And for you, you look at it from the perspective is you're more altruistic and say, hey, look, uh, this thing deserves to be used better than how I can able to use it today. So, it's a selfish perspective, my perspective, and then your perspective is, hey, this thing is not fair for it to sit around and collecting dust.
I don't know that it's not selfish the way that I looked at it, like because letting go, because the selfishness was lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. Like it was fun to be able to connect with my family, to go do stuff together. It was just fun to do this for me. It's an activity that aligns to my own purpose, and it also relieved me of a lot of my own burdens. So I'm not
And
saying
that's
it wasn't
me. That's my
altruistic,
main thing. It's going to release me of my burden,
right?
and the rest, like
But that's
I
selfish,
don't. It's a very low priority. I don't really care. I mean, I don't mind if somebody else is using it and have some. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that is like bitter by if I can't have it, no one can. I don't have that attitude. But my attitude is like I'm the kind of person that I'm gonna look out for myself. But I'm not the person that's gonna go out there and harm somebody for myself for my own gain. For
yeah.
me, I'm very straight, meaning like I don't really care about anything else except if it involves me. If it involves me, then I have to care. If that's the case, then I do it. That's why, to me, is primitively, every one of us has a selfish gene. Whether it's expressed more or less, it depends on some type of people. Some people are very altruistic and it's always say, hey, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to change the world, whatever. I'm not going to harm the world, but I'm not going to go out of my way and sacrifice my life to save the world. I don't
Right.
really care, right? And to me, it's like I'm not extremely on the other end where it's all about me and I want to take, right? And at the same time, I'm not a person that on the other side and I'm going to give. I don't do that.
Right.
I give when I can, and I don't give when I don't want to. I have no problem with saying that I'm this selfish bastard that whether you like it or not, I don't give an F about whether you do or not. But I'm saying it. The reason why I'm saying that is looking out for us, one of the genes that we have, and that's what makes us us. But at the same time, in the second order thinking, in order for you to be the most selfish, you have to work with others to gain the most versus
Right.
just being, stupidly trying to grab things without calculating, hey, if I grab things, I only grab like if I have two hands, right? I can only grab two things. So if I would grab three things, I need somebody's help. In order for me to get three things, I would get somebody to say, hey, you hold a basket, I hold the other end of the basket. You put three, I put three in, and we can both hold it. So for between the both of us, you get three. If I do it by myself, I don't get two. So the second order thinking say, hey, beyond just grabbing this thing for yourself and gain the most, right? How can I gain it more if I can? That's why for me, the selfish gene it's very logical. It's because if you have the self-esteem, but also have the ability to reason, you would want to work with other people. Like, capitalism. People hate capitalism for some reason. I
Right.
don't understand. Without capitalism, no one can own a home. I can't build a home by myself. I just can't. Right.
Well, but I think the reason why people can't stand capitalism is kind of what I'm talking about with like all the cups in the cabinet or all the t-shirts. It's like, when is enough enough? It's like you have more and you don't use it. Like if you have a lot of money and you don't use it, what's the fucking point?
But the thing is, that is not what capitalism is. You understand?
I understand what it is. I'm saying that like it's not wrong it's not wrong of me to have a bunch of t-shirts that I don't wear. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I mean, like by all means, if I can afford it, I can buy as many t-shirts as I want to that I don't want to wear or do wear, like there's no right or wrong. Like it is just,
but nobody, no, I'm saying before is like, you said that too.
Right.
And so,
right.
So in a capitalist society, you think they're hoarding all the money, but they're not. They're spending it.
Some people are, some people aren't. Like, and that's okay.
People who saves are the one that's doing it, and the people who save, it's like tiny percent compared to the people who actually spend it. Because in order for you to make a boatload of money, you have to want to spend money. The thing is, if you look at out there in entrepreneurial world, right? A lot of people, they want to own 100% of their company. But you look at Elon Musk, he owns like 23%. Look at like Zuckerberg, he owns like 12%. But that's billions of dollars. But that's the thing is, people want to own everything, but they own 100% of nothing, versus 12% of trillions of dollars. It's billions, right? And so in the capitalist world, you understand that in order for them to become massively rich, they have to spend the money. They have to spend the business, and in order for them to maximize money. I mean, it's like having money or having the ability to, let's say, put your money to work, for example. You don't want to let your money sit. You have to let your money go out there and do things to make more money.
Lesson number one. Everything deserves a chance to serve its purpose. If the money is just sitting there, like money has a purpose. Money is to exchange value for something else, right? This is value hoarding, is what it is. When you have a lot of money, you're value hoarding. Like when you have a lot of,
But that's the thing is,
t-shirts, you're value hoarding.
It work that way. In the term of money, if you're holding money, you're losing money.
No, I understand. I'm saying that everything deserves a purpose, and you're either allowing it to serve its purpose or you're preventing it from serving its purpose. But
I'm just saying, yeah, I think we both saying the same thing, but I'm saying it from a different perspective. I'm saying, look, it doesn't serve me any purpose for you to sit there and do nothing. You're my money. You need to go out there and make me some money.
A t-shirt sitting in a drawer that nobody ever wears, it takes up space. There's homeless people that I drive by every day that have old tattered clothes, and they would love to have 20 new t-shirts. Like there's no reason. I don't wear them. I'm talking about stuff that I don't wear, I don't care about.
From a selfish perspective, right? It takes up my space, and my space, right, is something I need for something else. And you are costing me money, resources, so I need to get rid of you.
Well, ironically, lesson 5
to serve my purpose.
Well, I was going to say, like, a funny twist of fate, lesson 5 could be, when you clean stuff up, it just gets filled back up again really fast. Like, honestly, like I look around.
That's a question I was asked following the other questions is, if you find like, hey, it's liberating to let go of things, what makes you want to get into possession in the first place?
Well, okay, so let me unpack that one in my own thoughts. Like this shirt, I like this shirt. It's comfy. I've had it for years and it fits well. I bought like 4 of them because they're super comfortable and I really like this shirt. I'm not going to say I'm attached to this shirt, but I like this shirt. It represents me. I feel like in a weird way, this shirt and me are kind of one and the same, As much as I found a home with this shirt, it found a home too, right? And we're both serving its purpose. We help each other. This shirt's very versatile. I can work out in it. I can run in it. I can go play tennis in it, or I can go to a meeting in it, like for work, or I can do this.
But I'm asking the shirt that you never wore.
No, I know.
I understand the shirt you wear and has a purpose, and it still does. And that's
fine. Getting attached to it. I mean, I'm not attached to it.
I'm talking about all the things that you're letting go, because the first thing is, when you clean up something, you're going to keep the things that serves a purpose to you.
For sure.
Right? And the thing you let go, would you say it's liberating because you let go of something you don't need?
All do is take up space in my brain.
So it takes up space, right? It basically, but the fact that you have a lot of shirts that you have never worn. That means that, for whatever purposes that you had intended to use it for, it wasn't.
That sometimes I just acquired them. Like it wasn't
That's what I'm
even
saying is when I go and consult for the other company, people come and give me shirts.
right.
And,
Exactly.
and then you know what I do? I say
No.
no.
I don't know why. I always am like, maybe this is another one I can go work out in or something like that. I'll go home and I'll try it on. And I'm like,
No, thank you. This is what I see people do as well. I mean, they'll take anything. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm a large, but I'll take a small. Or I'm a small, but I'll take a large.
Well, no, I never do that.
But I'm saying is people are taking like 3 or 4 shirts because
right.
For me, it's like, okay, if it is a shirt I like and I'm going to wear it, I'll take it. And if it fits, I'll take it.
Right.
If it doesn't fit, I'm not going to, oh, I'll take it. Yeah, I can use it, whatever. I don't. And the thing
Right.
is, for the first thing is, if I don't like it, like it doesn't match my preference, my liking,
Right.
my likeness, I don't take it. And then second, if it doesn't fit, there's no point in getting because I can't wear it. But the thing is, whenever they bring out those giveaways, nothing was left. And that's the thing is, people have the tendency to hoard things. At the same time, is without having the understanding of what you need, what you have, it's going to fit you like glove. We talked yesterday. You're going to trying to take everything. But
So
the point is, when you take everything, it takes up space.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any room for the thing that's supposed to fit.
Like you have too many, even if it did fit you, and even if it was a perfect shirt. Like I have way too many other shirts that are already serving its purpose of a daily shirt.
It doesn't serve a purpose. I don't care.
This is what I'm saying. No, I agree. Even if it did have a chance to be the perfect shirt for you, it was so far down the list of even getting into the trial run to see if it made the cut or not. It was almost an impossibility, right? I like shoes, like tennis shoes, sneakers. I'm a bit of a sneakerhead. I like colorful Nikes, running shoes, and basketball shoes. I'm not a big dress shoe guy, but I love my sneakers. And every single time that I go to the Finish Line or the outlet malls or something like that, like the Nike factory outlet, it's so hard for me to walk out of there without buying another pair of shoes or running shoes or something. I just love shoes. 90% of the time, I don't wear any of them. I just like to possess them. I just like to look at them. I don't want to get them dirty. I don't want to put them in my regular rotation. I have regular rotation shoes that I don't give a shit about. Like they look good enough. Like I take them outside and I'll get them dirty and I don't care because I don't care if people see me looking like a homeless person in those shoes. Like I don't want to get my nice shoes dirty, so, but they still serve a purpose for me. They bring me, spark joy, right? They do spark joy. Whenever I look at them, they spark joy in me. So I keep them and I'm okay with that. But I've cut myself off from buying more because I have plenty of shoes to spark joy for me now. And like, unless there's a really unique shoe that I loved as a kid or something like that really sparks joy. Like I've multiple times gone to shoe stores and I'm like, I'm going to buy some shoes today. And then I'm like, no, I go there to buy the shoes. And then I'm like, no, I don't need it. And what I'm getting at is if an item does spark joy and it has some purpose, then keep it. It's fine. Like it's not, but if it's just the 30th shirt and a t-shirt.
Yeah, but to me, it has to have a space. So
Sure.
You know a lot about football?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So imagine you're the coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're the coach. You have two first round pick, a first and second pick. And this year there's like great quarterbacks, right? Great quarterback class. So the thing is,
are you saying you have the number 1 overall pick and the number 2
overall pick?
Okay.
So, and then you're gonna pick, right? Let's say you're gonna pick the best quarterback, right?
Okay.
But then the best quarterback here, this guy has a lot of the the quality to make a superstar quarterback. And then the second in line is also a good quarterback. You would love to have him as well. And you draft the first guy because the first guy is a very rare specimen. The second guy is also rare, but it has the opposite of the characteristic, but it has other dynamics. Where, let's say you have a good pocket passer versus a good scrambler, right?
Sure.
So those two guys, if you have two first overall and second overall, would you pick two quarterbacks because you like it? You like the second guy. Because the problem is, when I say is in the
good question.
In that scenario,
I know the answer.
The quarterback is not going to have its chance to bloom.
But he could get injured.
So to me, in a way, it's position. There's a space on the shelf for your sneaker, or there's position in a team for the guy to develop and flourish. You pick him, you draft him, and you put him in that position. But you don't want to draft him just because, I like it, but they don't have a space for you.
That's a good point. No, I mean, like my shoe drawer, my shoe cubbies are full. Like, I mean, literally, I don't have any more space. I have no more space in my shoe cubbies in my closet, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to buy any more shoes either. Because to your point, like, I don't. Same thing too with like these kind of shirts. I have a rotational bin, if you will, of shirts
But like
that
I
I go
say,
through.
it's utility,
Yeah,
right? It's
right.
utility. Can you use it for its intended purpose? If you don't, then you're basically suppressing its expression.
Purpose. Yeah, no, I mean, this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying is everything deserves a shot. It deserves a chance to serve its purpose in the world. Like if you like,
That,
and invisibility matters. I do agree with you. I have one main drawer in our closet that I have like all my t-shirts in. Even in that drawer, every one of those t-shirts have been pre-selected by me as shirts that make it in the rotation. But even in that drawer, I don't even get to 70% of the t-shirts that are in that drawer because I never make it past the first 4 or 5 because that's all I can see. And that's what I wear all the time. That's what goes in the washer. That's what comes back. I don't even know what's below them anymore, but I pulled them all out before and I pre-selected them and I said, these are shirts that I want to wear. I don't have visibility in the ones that are below those top 4 or 5 shirts, and I never fucking wear them. Like I don't even know what's in there. I mean, I could not. If you
and that's
ask
my
me right
point.
now,
Is
yeah,
utility.
yeah,
Utility is what I think it's a indicator for purpose. Because if you don't use it, then it's not serving you, right?
agreed.
Meaning that it's the purpose are not aligning. Your purpose and its purpose are not aligning.
Agreed.
Therefore, it gotta go. It gotta go, right?
Or
Meaning like
or it needs to get a shot.
because the thing is, let's say you have I don't know much about shoes because I don't buy them, but let's say you have like every type of shoe with whatever characteristic of shoes is, and let's say they say, hey, this is the shoe, and there's no space and there's no place for you to put them on. What do you do with it? Do you buy the new one or you not buy the new one?
Well, I don't. So I have many different shoes for many different things. I would never, if this was like a fun shoe that I like, don't wear regularly, but it's like for special occasions or, something that's like, like I call them my flare shoes, like I only buy that model because there's something that sparks joy about that model for me in particular. So it's not like I'm buying it for functionality, right? The ones that I buy for functionality, like my tennis shoes, like my literal tennis shoes that I play tennis in, like I wear the shit out of those down. I grind them down. So like I do go get the next model because I have to go get the next model because I destroy
But I'm
the
saying
previous
that
model.
when you put into the glass case, right? The glass
Right.
case where you display, and then there is a newer model or a better model or a more
I
likable
don't care.
model
I
for
care
whatever.
about those.
And so the
Yeah.
thing is, that's what I'm saying is people. What I'm seeing is people they buy all of them because they're hoarding it. Versus
Yeah.
like if they have no utility in it, what you do is you don't buy the new one or you buy the new one and you get rid of the old one. Don't keep both.
Throw away my
I
old
mean,
tennis shoes
go
after.
to the NFL team that I'm talking about. Like if you say, hey, I have Patrick Mahomes now, and I like Lamar Jackson as well. Okay, so
Right.
Lamar Jackson is a little bit different, the playing style than Mahomes, but at the same time, I can't keep two quarterbacks in that
Right.
caliber. I have
Right.
to, right? So that means that if I were to get Lamar Jackson, I need to trade Mahomes. I can't just keep Mahomes.
Well, what's sad is like you're like there are backup quarterbacks, obviously, in the league. Like I feel really sad for them because they never get to fucking play.
Different quarterback has their purpose because a lot of quarterbacks they don't want to be superstar. They just want to
Oh, that's
be
true. Yeah.
quarterback because they say, hey, I don't have to do the work and I just sit there and that's what they want. Man, different people
Well,
have different wants.
I mean, they still work, but they just don't. They do different functionalities with them. They don't have to be a star.
They go to the practice. I mean, they basically in the practice squad most of the time, and they don't have to go
But
out.
that's value. I mean, they can provide value for the defense. They can provide value for for the starting quarterback. I mean, you can still provide value as a backup. But I get your point. Like they don't want to be the first rotation guy in the first rotation anyway. So if you have two compete, maybe what you're trying to if I can rephrase.
A first string quarterback is first string quarterback. I mean, you
Right.
don't have two first string quarterbacks because the second string they say, hey, I know where I'm at and I'm comfortable with being the second string quarterback, and I want to be here. My function is a second string quarterback. I don't want to be first string because
Right.
I don't have the talent out there, and it's too much pressure for me now.
Shoes. I mean, my second string shoes are my everyday shoes. Those are my second string shoes.
Second string if you use it.
No.
It's just different class. It's different position.
I like to keep Patrick Mahomes in a glass jar and just go, man, that guy is just special. Like, like
I mean,
that's
but that guy's useless. I mean, if I have
no,
Patrick
he's not
Mahomes,
useless.
if I have
He's
Patrick
useful for
Mahomes on
me.
my team and he sit on the bench,
You're missing what I'm saying. You're looking at it from a utility of production on a team. Like I'm talking about just for myself, selfishly. If I knew that,
but
if I
selfishly,
could,
if I own a team, a
I don't want to get.
first string quarterback must perform for me. That's my purpose. My
Well,
purpose is to have a guy, because the thing is, Mahomes has no value, and no one would know his talent unless he out there and show the world what he can do. Because when he first drafted, yeah, people say, well, Mahomes is Mahomes. Yeah, he have made some hype, but no one know what he can do until he starts to play, until he's able to meet expectations and surpass expectations. Then he become more valuable. He say, hey, that guy, just pay what he wants because he's worth every single dollar that you give him. And so that's the thing is, for me, if Mahomes on my team, his utility is the purpose I want him to have, because I don't want to have him and have him sit on the bench and then have like Lamar Jackson do the work.
Right.
That, to me, it doesn't serve my purpose from having to possess him in the team.
Right. No, I just had this thought of you remember 99 bottles, a couple weeks ago, where it's like wine's meant to be drank, and like the entire lesson behind that, right? And the funny thing is, I'm sitting here arguing for my shoes that I never wear, and you're like, why would you? What really nice shoes you never wear? And you're like, it's a really good point, Drew. I don't know. I'm gonna start wearing my fun shoes.
It's like you start drinking the wine you put in a shelf that you would never gonna drink.
These poor little shoes are. I mean, they do spark joy every time I see them. I will say that. Like, but God damn it, they need to get out and walk. Like,
he's in the bench.
I'm taking my Grant Hill Fila's, from my '96 Grant Hill Fila's out for a walk tomorrow or something like that. My old my Penny Hardaways that I bought when I was.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying like everything deserves a purpose, and you're suppressing these shoes.
I know. these poor shoes. I feel so bad.
That's very worse.
They got to get out.
You've been locked in that case for like years.
5 minutes ago, I was just arguing to put Patrick Mahomes in a little jar in my closet, and they go, "Oh, there's little Patrick," and he's gonna be like, "Let me out of here. Let me throw the ball.
Let me play." You imagine benching Patrick Mahomes. What do you think he's gonna feel like?
I'm talking about putting him in the locker room in a shrine and saying nobody
no one touches you.
No one touches it.
So no injuries. You're basically protected. You're basically like Sherman in a shed.
I know. I put him in I'm killing my shoes. What am I doing? What am I doing? These poor guys. They're so beautiful and they're so much fun too.
But I just can't get past the fact that Patrick Mahomes' value is only because you let him be his purpose.
I know.
He has no value. Regardless, he's the same guy with the same gene and everything. You put him in a glass case, he has no value. No one's going to value him as much as he is valuable to the fans today.
Yeah, no one knows my cool neon running shoes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Nothing neon shoe, what?
I have, Reebok pumps. You remember the pumps back in the day? I mean, pumps. I got, I got a ton of like awesome skater shoes that I love. I mean, like no joke, I probably have at least 40 shoes or something like that, and
I have one pair of tennis shoes and it's like completely it's peeling off, and I have to buy a new one. It has holes everywhere. And
oh no, I have those too.
It's coming up, and I'm still using it. Get you do use a new pair of shoes, and it still works.
Hey man, you're doing it better than I am. But no, that's interesting. Okay, all right. Well, I learned the lesson tonight.
That shoe has service purpose.
I know. Everything has, you're right. Everything deserves to have a purpose. And it deserves to be utilized.
Because the value comes, you think about it. That's why I love the fact that I brought up Patrick Mahomes, because you think about it, if Patrick Mahomes would never play a single game, no one would say he's useless.
Nobody cares.
Like, value.
Yeah.
So that means that in order for anything,
well, that's not true. Patrick Mahomes inherently has
perceived purpose.
Right. He has no value in the way that we know him today.
Value is determined by the utility to somebody. A value is something is value to me because it's utility to me. Because
I know Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, the value in our eye, in the fans' eye, is we like games at that level. Value in that sense, from his perspective, is different, right? I want to be better than himself. That's his purpose. But from my perspective as a fan, he would not be of any value to me as a fan if he has never played a game, because I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. I haven't seen his play.
I mean, I just was making sure that I, like, you know, clarified, like, when we say, I know what you're saying. I was just trying to make it like a little bit more
Confusing.
Putting the caveat on it that maybe somebody else didn't understand what you were saying, that we weren't like, that they didn't go, man, what these fucking assholes are talking about, this guy has no value in life, you know, if he didn't play football. I'm like, no, that's not what I was saying. But that's not what you were saying. Is all I was trying to say.
But let's say you told Patrick Mahomes that no, he no longer can play because you don't want him to get hurt, right? He isn't going to be able to be happy if he were not able to play. So he has,
you're taking away
for himself, he has no purpose because he has trained most of his life to become the superstar, and you telling him that he can't play, it's going to break his heart.
Yeah.
My life has no value now, has no meaning, because I can't do what that I love to do.
And that's how my shoes feel.
So utility, right? Utility brings out purpose from different perspective, from your perspective, from other people's perspective as well.
Right.
Meaning you are killing your shoes.
My poor shoes. All right, I think that's a good place to stop for the night. Yeah, prance
hopefully
around the house.
Hopefully it still fits.
Oh no, these are all shoes that I bought as an adult, so my feet haven't grown, you know, since I was, I don't even know.
Okay.
50, you know, whatever. So like they all fit. Like, yeah, awesome. All right. Well, the question we can leave with everyone is, what lessons can you learn if you spent some time tidying and letting go of things in your life? I encourage anybody to take this monthly challenge. This was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. It was a fun time, and yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts if you do decide to take this one up, and let me know how it goes. Yeah,
I did like some cleaning before. Like I told you, I was doing like I throw away one thing once a day, right? Just pick up something and say, hey, I don't need this thing anymore. I just toss it, right? And you know, that was good too.
It feels good. Like there's something nice about just dumping it into the trash, and you're just like, oh yeah,
getting rid of your burden.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
All right, well, that was fun. We will see you all tomorrow.
Good night.